The idea that people love themselves the most has been a foundational belief of many books, advice, and products out there. Books like How to Win Friends and Influence People advise you that to keep a conversation engaging, you need to talk less about yourself and more about the other person's interests because people love themselves the most. Social media is equipped with addictive features such as like and follow because they validate the user and people love themselves the most. What do you think? Why are we then bad at doing things that we know make us better? According to a study funded by the Canadian Institutes of Health Research, sampling nearly 16,000 patients over 131 physicians, show that at least 30% of patients don't end up filling their prescriptions. Of the remaining patients who initially filled their prescriptions, over 70% of them don't religiously take their medicine. And we're not talking about typical cough or cold medicine. These are patients who went through organ transplants or have chronic illnesses who need to take their maintenance or anti-rejection drugs to avoid grave consequences such as kidney failure, organ rejection, and death. You might be wondering, if people really love themselves the most, how can they bear to do this to their health? Don't worry, you're not the only one asking that question. In fact, there is a whole field dedicated to studying just why wouldn't people do what's in their best interest. The study of this irrationality and disconnect is called behavioral sciences. But on the other hand, if you had to take an ill child or pet to the doctor, you would religiously follow the doctor's advice and make sure to buy the right medicine and administer it properly. So then, why can't we do that to ourselves? Jordan Peterson's second rule for life is to treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. He discusses what being good to yourself means and how believing you deserve love is the first step to helping yourself. So in this video, let's start with why. Why should we love ourselves, and what is self-love anyway? What it means to treat ourselves like someone we are responsible for helping, and finally, how to start by having a vision. After learning about patients' non-adherence to prescription medicine, Jordan started pondering on the question, why don't people believe they deserve the best care? Why might people not love themselves? And this is an important question to answer because if we wish to take care of ourselves properly, we would first have to respect ourselves and believe that we deserve love. It is easy to believe that people are arrogant, egotistical, and always looking out for themselves. What stuck with me the most is this idea that knowing ourselves best is both an advantage and a burden. Whilst we know what makes us tick, happy, or motivated, we also shoulder the intolerable burdens of self-disgust, self-contempt, shame, and self-consciousness. We know how capable we are of causing misery. If you have religious faith of any type, this might not be a new idea. Before God, we are merely human, sinners, and are in need of His grace and salvation. So nonetheless, why should we love ourselves? The simple answer is, we should learn to see the world in the lens of kindness and gratitude. Jordan is simply astounded by how the world is holding together, despite the numerous challenges we need to navigate day to day. Somehow, amidst the rather chaotic world, we can navigate our way, befriend others, and love. Yet people prevail and continue to do difficult and effortful tasks to hold themselves and their families and society together. It is always wounded people who are holding it together. It's an ongoing miracle of fortitude and perseverance. Because of this, any amount of gratitude is almost always not enough. Humans deserve sympathy and respect just for our sheer ability to move the needle, which is this world. We deserve some respect. You deserve some respect. You are important to other people as much as to yourself. You have some vital role to play in the unfolding destiny of the world. You are therefore morally obliged to take care of yourself. While self-love can look like this, it sounds more like, you are enough, you are doing a very good job, you're not just your flaws and mistakes, and you deserve to be taken care of. Do you know someone who might enjoy this video? If you're finding this video valuable, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons and share this with them. So now we have self-love, how do we self-help? In the book, Jordan talked about the concept of order and chaos. A good 10 pages of the book was just him classifying what order and chaos are. The whole time I was reading it, I was just playing scenes from Stranger Things in my head, of them traveling between the two worlds. That's probably the easiest way to think about it. Order is everything certain, explored and familiar, while chaos can mean the total opposite of order like disaster, misery, and war. It's more of unexplored territory, which means room for growth and adventure too. Helping ourselves means striking a balance of these. We need to straddle in this sweet spot and have one foot in a territory we've mastered and the other foot exploring unfamiliar territory, learning and growing. The Swiss psychologist Carl Jung pointed out that you should help yourself just as you would an imperfect friend. To treat yourself as if you're someone you're responsible for helping is instead to consider what would be truly good for you. Oftentimes, when I want to be objective in a situation, I would always ask myself, if I were my own friend or child, what would I be telling her now? For her benefit, what would I be advising her to do or not do? So, how do you start? You can start by asking yourself these questions. What might my life look like if I were caring for myself properly? What career would challenge me and render me productive and helpful, so that I could shoulder my share of the load and enjoy the consequences? What would I be doing when I have some freedom to improve my health, expand my knowledge, and strengthen my body? You need to know where you are, who you are, and where you're going. Knowing where you're going means you can bargain for yourself so you won't end up resentful. You need to articulate your principles so that you can defend yourself. You need to discipline yourself carefully, honor your own word, and claim the reward. Don't underestimate the power of vision and direction. These are irresistible forces able to transform what might appear to be unconquerable obstacles into traversable pathways and expanding opportunities. Strengthen yourself as an individual by defining who you are and refining your personality. As Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "He whose life has a why can bear almost any how." You can start by treating yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. In bettering yourself, you can be a more productive contributor to this world. That would atone for your sinful nature and replace your shame and self-consciousness with a natural pride and forthright confidence. In embracing self-love, you can self-help. In starting to help yourself, you can learn to love yourself even more.